So I just had a really strange buried memory just come unlocked in my head about my dad and mine's relationship, and I think I found the moment where it went bad, or at least the moment where it started to go bad. And forgive me, I am all stuffed up and sick right now. So as a little kid, like me and my dad were besties, and we were always like playing games together. He would do these voices of different characters, and we would watch like X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman. We'd watch all that stuff together like constantly. And I'm about to date myself really badly here because Aladdin the series came out. And I don't remember ever seeing any like previews or things for it. I just saw it on TV one day and I panicked because it was on like before my dad was home. So I started recording it on a VHS tape and I got 3 of the episodes recorded that week, and when he came back from his work trip, I was like, oh my gosh, you'll never believe this. Aladdin the series came out and, let's watch it. I have it right here. We watch it. And in my head, as a kid who's probably, I don't know, 9 or 10 at that time, I'm like, oh, this is going to be one of our shows that we always watch, like Spider-Man, X-Men, all that. And so I ended up saying something to the effect of, oh, don't worry, now that I know what time it comes on, I'll do better about like pausing and missing the commercials. And I just remember my dad like really abruptly snapped at me and was like, we're not doing this every week. I didn't have the words to articulate it then, but that whole comment cut me so deep. But looking back at it now, as an adult who's had some therapy and I can process it differently than a child did, 30 something years ago when this happened, I just sat there quietly and didn't say anything back when he said, oh, we're not doing this every week. I don't want to watch this show with you, because I felt like I was in the wrong for asking. My dad was one of those people with zero emotional regulation, so literally you could just shut the door too hard by accident and he'd be throwing stuff across the house. If you borrowed his scissors, put them back in the wrong drawer, he'd throw the whole drawer across the room. Like, no emotional regulation. He was a child. What really bothered me is that it made me feel like such a burden to have asked him to be watching this show with me that I thought he would genuinely enjoy. We watched these other like sci-fi kind of action shows together, and he's the one that took me and 2 of my cousins to go see Aladdin in the theater and seemed to really like it. So I was so hurt that he didn't want to watch this show with me. And again, he watched these other shows with me, but he was also a comic book guy. And so the issue is he liked X-Men already. He liked Spider-Man already. But if I had sat down and recorded all the episodes of Aladdin to make it another show for us to watch together, he didn't like Disney. He wasn't into Aladdin the same way he was into X-Men. And so I think that was the start of the decline of our relationship, because it was so over the top invalidating that my relationship with my father, which I thought was good, like I thought so highly of him as a child, but my relationship with my father was only based on me accommodating his interests. He was not particularly willing to accommodate my interests. So me being willing to record this and cut out the commercials to spend time with him was a no for him. He wasn't willing to give me 2 hours a week for something that maybe he didn't enjoy as much as I did. And I think that's why when my kids get really into something, I try really hard to get into it too. Like, I don't go, no, I don't want to hear it. No, I don't want to see it. Like, I really sit down and try to get into it with them, because I keep going back to how much that cut me, that my dad didn't want to spend time with me if it wasn't what he wanted to do.